All right. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. It's a Thursday night, and I know that school is about to start, and things are probably starting to get crazy if you've got kids. And so I just do appreciate you guys all taking the time to hop on. And our team has grown a ton in the last month and a half. So I'm really excited to see some new faces that I've never had on any of my trainings before. So I'm really excited to see all of you guys. Just a couple things for you guys to know. Let's see, just in case you don't know kind of how Zoom works. So there's a chat function, and it's probably, well, I guess depending on whether you're on your phone or your computer. For me, I'm on my computer, so it's down at the bottom, that you can type in questions or comments or whatever at any time. So feel free to use that. I love questions and I love answering questions, and all the girls on here tonight are great and know a ton too. So feel free to ask questions at any time, and then I'll make sure to check it at the end too, just in case we missed anything. And other than that, I think we're ready to go. But one thing I did want you guys to do, though, is I'm just so curious to hear where all of you guys are from. So I'd love for you to open up that chat and just say maybe where you are tuning in from, where you live, and then maybe how long you've been with Plexus. So I think that would be really fun. I'd love to know it, and I know everybody else is kind of curious, who's that? I've never seen that name before. So I think that'd be really fun. So yeah, hop down to the chat and type that in real quick. So let me share my screen with you, and we will get started. All right. Here we go. Okay, great. Okay, so like I said, my name is Sarah Price. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I just want to say welcome to all of you guys. I do see some new faces, new names on here. So I'm so excited to have you here. My goal, our goal tonight for you guys is to help you feel a little bit more equipped. So I know when you're just starting out, there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff to learn, and you might feel a little overwhelmed. But just know that we all felt that way when we first started, and we're all still here. We all made it. So it's okay to feel overwhelmed, but don't let that keep you from continuing to learn and sharing. So just know that that's totally normal. I'll tell you a little bit about, I always forget how to get this to go forward, a little bit about myself. So I have two kids. I have Jack, who's 5, and then Kate, who's 2. This picture's a little bit old. That's my husband, Derek. We live in Central California. I'm from Southern California, but moved up here and got married to Derek because this is where he lives. I am, as of Monday, homeschooling Jack. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be a new adventure for us. But I joined Plexus about 3 years ago. It was 3 years in March. My sister-in-law, Amber Volbada, she was married to my brother. She had some friends in Dallas. She was living in Dallas at the time who were talking about Plexus on Facebook, and she thought they were totally nuts. But eventually curiosity kind of got the best of her, and she went to a sip and see and was really impressed. And she had mentioned it to me before she even went. And she knew that I was having a lot of digestive issues that I just couldn't figure out. I'd been given medication. I tried to all sorts of stuff, all different supplements and fibers and allergy elimination treatments, and just nothing worked and nothing was helping. So I was pretty desperate to find something that was going to make me just feel normal again, because I was feeling awful every day. And so she told me, I think these products might help you. And so I just was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I don't care, because I'm just pretty desperate. So, and it really is the only thing that has helped me, and I just feel better than I ever have. So that's kind of my product story. And let's see, I went Emerald in March, so just a few months ago. So it took me exactly 3 years to go Emerald, which is a little bit longer than sometimes you hear other people. I know it's pretty common to hear people going Emerald in like 8 months, or, which is crazy. Even, 18 months is crazy. But know that that's not everybody's story, and that's not necessarily typical. So I do kind of like that my journey looked a little bit different than most people's, or most people you hear of anyway. There's a lot of people in Plexus that you don't hear about. So just because you're hearing about all these people who shoot to the top does not necessarily mean that that's the norm. So don't let that discourage you. I went silver. It took me a few months to go silver. I was silver for over about a year, and then I was gold for about a year, and then went senior gold last year in August, July, and then August I went ruby and senior ruby, and then emerald in September. So I sat at silver and gold for a year each. So just know that that's just because that happens doesn't mean that that's a bad thing, or that the business isn't working for you, or that you're no good at it, or whatever. I just think I always say, if you're consistent, if you're coachable, and if you're committed, you really have to be committed, and you really have to be consistent. And if you are those three things, then you're going to do well. I just think, out of everybody I know, all the people who haven't quit have done well. And maybe it's taken them a little bit longer, but they eventually, reach their goals with this business. And so I always say, just don't quit. So that is my story, a little history on me. So let's talk about a few common terms that you may have already heard and are like, what on earth are they talking about? There's like the whole lingo that I don't even know anything about. So hopefully you've already logged into your back office. That's where you'll find all the information. And then in a second, Jordan's going to walk you through what that looks like. But that's where you're going to find all of the details about your team. As your team grows, that's where you place your orders. That's where you're going to see what your PV is. And we'll talk about what that is in just a second. You're able to track your orders through there. You're able to see how many active level ones you have. And so Jordan will go through all of that stuff. But that's kind of the hub of our business, is our back office. And word on the street is that they are going to be launching a new back office this month. So we're all crossing our fingers. For those of us who are at convention, we got to see a preview of it, and it looks incredible. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. So hopefully it'll be this month. So I mentioned PV. So every product has a PV value attached to it. And it's close to the dollar amount, but just a little bit off from the dollar amount. And that is how our commissions are calculated. So PV stands for personal volume or product volume. And you, in order to be considered active or commission qualified, then you need to have 100 PV processed through your website. So typically that's our own products. A lot of us are on Triplex. And when we order our triplex each month, that automatically fulfills that 100 PV requirement. It can also be someone else's order, a customer's order. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your own products. That being said, at the heart of our business is being a product of the product. And with that, let's talk about your convenience order. So your convenience order, you should have set it up when you signed up. Hopefully you did. So this is basically your monthly order of your personal products. And when our new back office launches, that's the lingo on that is going to change, and it's going to be called your subscription, which I think makes a lot more sense. And people understand the word subscription rather than like convenience order. So I'm really happy they're changing that. But for now, it's still called convenience order. So that's your monthly order of your personal products. Like I said, for most of us, that's Triplex. Some of us are on maybe a few different, maybe one or two additional things. But let's talk about convenience orders for just a second. If you did not set that up when you signed up, I would very, very strongly encourage you to go into your back office and make sure that that's set up. And Jordan's going to walk us through that in just a minute. But here's the reason why. Our products work best when you're consistent with them, meaning ideally you don't miss a day. You take them every single day. Consistency is just so important with our products. And if you don't have your convenience order set up, it's a monthly order. You set the date that it processes, and it automatically ships to you, so you never have to think about it. You can go in and edit it and change the products if you need to, but you don't ever have to log in. Notice like, oh shoot, I only have about 7 pink drinks left. I need to get on and order my products. Because if you're trying to do that every month, I will bet you money you're going to end up running out eventually, just because we're all busy. And it's hard for us to wade past the children, if we have them, the email, the Facebook, all of the other distractions and stuff that are between you and, placing that personal order through your back office. So, take my seasoned advice on that one, and go into your back office and set up your convenience order, because like I said, we need to be a product of the product. And if you're not taking your products every day, then you really aren't getting your money's worth out of them, because they're not working like they're designed to. So that's one of the first things that I tell people to do when they sign up, is to make sure that you've got that order on. And like I said, you can edit it anytime. You're 100% in control of that. But make sure that you for sure have that on. Your upline, you'll hear people say that from time to time. If you're not familiar with network marketing, you've maybe never ever heard that term. My mom grew up, or when we were growing up, my mom did network marketing, so that's kind of a normal word to me. But for a lot of people, they're like, what is that? That's basically your sponsor, but it's not necessarily just your sponsor. It's your sponsor's 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 sponsor. So anybody who, has signed up before you in your direct upline, that's your upline. So like for me, my direct upline is Amber Volbada, and then Ellen Ford, and then Andrea Mitchell, and then Roz Payne, and then Celeste Glenn. So that's my upline. And then we kind of already talked about being commission qualified with that 100 PV. So basically you want to make sure that you're getting to that 100 PV every month, because that qualifies you for commissions. That first 100 PV goes back to the company to pay salaries, to keep lights on, and to keep the company running. And then everything after that we get paid commissions on. So you want to make sure that you're hitting that 100 PV every month, so that you're getting, you're eligible to make commissions, and you make commissions off of everything above that 100 PV. Let's see, which is actually, that's pretty low, when you're talking about how easy it is to start making money with this business. All you have to do is order your own triplex, and you make money off of anything else above and beyond that. So I love that it's really simple and easy. Okay, so like I said before, Jordan is going to walk us through how to log into back office. And because of the way this program works, I have to do it, and she has to talk. So I think I'll be able to keep up with her. Okay. But Jordan, go ahead, and then I'll pull up this back office.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for hosting this call tonight. I'm really excited to have some of our newbies on the call. So back office, we're going to kind of take a look at what your website looks like when you log in. Before we do that, while she's getting that set up, just a quick intro on me. I've been with Plexus for about 1.5 years. I joined totally for the products, not for the business. I had a lot of digestive issues and some anxiety issues, and was kind of at a point where I was sort of needing to go more maybe the meds route, or pursuing that in the medical sense. And I just decided to try Plexus kind of as a last-ditch effort. So I was really, really happy with my results. And because of that, I thought, well, if this has helped me so much, I could help a lot of people. And so that's how I kind of sort of fell into the business. But it really took me, took some time for me to sort of catch the vision of what the business could do. And so it actually took me, I think it was, maybe 5 months to hit silver, which is 3 ambassadors. And then I'm currently at senior gold. So I think, I guess if I were to give any advice about that, it would be, if you're still kind of just getting your feet wet, maybe you've been taking the products for 2 or 3 months, but you're still kind of feeling it out, it's definitely not too late to start sharing and, to get involved with the business and to make it something that is really meaningful and impactful for you and your family. Once I decided, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can share with people. My goal was to start making $1,000 a month within the first year. And I hit that goal a few months early, and my paycheck's been growing every month ever since that point, and it's well over doubled that amount now. So there is a ton of potential. So I just really encourage you guys, if you're just starting out, to stick with it. And like Sarah said, the only way to really not be successful is to quit. And so, I still love my products. I take them every day. I'm excited about them, and I'm excited to share them. Okay, so this is what your back office looks like. And you can see here at the top, I think you're logging in as Derek, probably, her husband. But if you look at the top, the main site you're going to go to is just backoffice.plexusworldwide.com. I have had a lot of people ask me that because they're like, I forget how to get in, and they'll Google Plexus and it takes you somewhere else. So this is where you need to start. You're going to put your username and your password in there. As a sidebar, when you guys are signing people up, make sure you tell them to write these down, because when they forget, it can be a little bit of a pain. So my husband forgot his once, and it was a little bit of a pain. And it was, of course, one of those situations where I was like, we need to order right now. So just a side note on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in there and take a look. And as Sarah mentioned, this is most likely, the look of this is going to be changing soon, but at least this is going to give you a feel for what you can do now. So if you click on dashboard, let's take a look there. This is where you're going to see kind of an overview of your volume, your points, your new ambassador. So this is kind of like where you want to start to sort of view everything all on one page. So let's take a look at the bottom left-hand corner. If you see the green button there that says PV, okay, that's going to show your current volume. So let's say, for example, it's the 10th of the month. I've had a couple of customers order already. My convenience order hasn't run, so my PV is showing like $200 and something. And then that AWH, that stands for your auto renewal. So every year you pay that $35 fee. And so that's what that button's, it might be red because he might be due to pay that. Sarah, is that, yeah? Okay. So normally that is going to show green if you're current, and a lot of you are new, so you're current, you're good for a while. Okay, and then the third one is green because Derek has his convenience order set and ready to run, so that's good. We always like to see that. If you happen to log in and that's red, that means that it is not set, so you need to go set it up. So I can show you how to do that. Just want to show you a few other things on this page for an overview. Far right-hand corner, that's where you're going to see any new ambassadors that you've enrolled on your team. And so you can always click on those names. So Sarah, if you go ahead and click on a name, this is kind of nice. It will show you, you can click on sponsor info and see who their sponsor is. And you can look at their order history. You can see what kind of welcome pack they got, all of that sort of information there. Okay, so let's close that out. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go to reports on the left-hand side, and scroll down to detailed genealogy. Okay, this is kind of the main one. Anybody else can feel free to chime in here, but this is kind of the main one we use to look at our team. So you can actually scroll through here and see the different members on your team. You're able to see what their current volume is. Once they hit that 100 mark, you're going to see points showing for you in that column, unless they're new. If they're new, they're going to look green. So it doesn't look like he has any new yet for this month, but when they're new, they're green, which is helpful because then you can see that they're new. And you just got all kinds of good info here. When I need to look up somebody's address, I can click on here. I can look up an order, their emails here, their phone number. It tells you when their next order is supposed to run, when their convenience order is set for. So there's just a lot of really good information here. So if you haven't, if you're beginning to build a team and you haven't looked in here at all, you need to check this out and see. You'll notice there's a difference here between lines that are blue and lines that are white. So if the lines are white, what that means is they don't currently have a convenience order set to run. So sometimes you'll see, a line that's white and they do have volume. But oftentimes these are people that aren't regularly ordering or that don't have their convenience order set. Okay. Let's scroll up. Sarah, this is working great. We're tag teaming. It's working. Okay. So if we go back to the main, line at the top, let's say we hit, what one I like is tools. So let's take a look at tools real quick. Scroll down to shareables. I'm just highlighting this, you guys. There's a lot more that you can play around with here, but shareables this is like a new feature. And even when I started, which was only a year and a half ago, we didn't have any of this, and this is amazing. So if you scroll down a little bit, Sarah, you'll see we have all kinds of digital brochures, all kinds of information on Slim. You can find the Slim video. We've got our promotions. Scroll back up. Sorry, I think I missed. Okay, categories. There you go. So if you look here and you can scroll down to products. Okay, so here you're actually able to filter by product. So go ahead in the middle there, choose, choose Vital Biome. So let's say you are chatting with someone and they're really curious, like, what is Vital Biome? I want to know more. You can click on this and then scroll down, and you can send them any of these info sheets. These are all, very easy to share. You can copy the link. You can put it in an email. You can send it. I've sent these through Messenger all the time. Scroll down a little bit more because I want to show them the video. There's videos for at least half the products have a video. There they are. So like if you click on that Vital Biome video, you don't need to click on it, Sarah, because then it'll take you out of back office. But if you click on it, you're going to be able to see exactly what you'll be sending to people. And these videos are awesome. Like they're the perfect little, just nugget of information that's super helpful for people that are just kind of looking for an overview. Okay, let's scroll back up. Sorry, I'm just going to try to not take too long on this. Let's go back to your dashboard. And then just last thing I want to show you is the shopping tab. I want to show you about orders. So scroll down to convenience orders. Okay, this is where you can turn your, make sure your convenience order is set. So as you'll see here, currently he's got an unconditional order set. That means the order is going to ship no matter what, whether he's under $100 of volume or over. If he wanted to edit his order, he could click the edit button. And this is going to allow him to change the date, change the shipping amount. He can remove items simply by clicking the red X here. You can add items to it. If you put, I guess that would be, if you hit quick add to cart, you can add new items to it. You just want to make sure if you see on the right-hand corner, the Save Changes button, make sure that you hit that because if you don't, it's not going to update. So just make sure that you do that. At the top, you'll see process payment on the 11th of each month. He can go in and change that date and set it to any time that month. Okay. Thank you. Let's move on to our next slide because I don't want to take too much time. This is just honestly such a brief overview of back office. There's amazing trainings there and a ton of stuff to look at, but I just wanted to highlight. Okay, so why do we share? I think probably one of the biggest hesitations I get with people in the beginning when we're kind of talking about, is this something you feel comfortable sharing or not, is just people feel a little bit nervous about that and a little uncomfortable. And that's totally normal. That's how I felt in the beginning. I think for all of us, when we make that first Facebook post, it's like, oh, do I click enter? It's scary. So But, I think if you look at the big scheme of what we're doing and the type of health issues that people are seeing resolved and the type of just life-changing opportunities that people are seeing, it's like, why wouldn't we share that? So this first one is so true. If you don't, someone else will. Plexus is still, in the grand scheme of things, it's not huge yet, but it will be. And if we're not out there telling people about it, somebody else is going to. So, I think more and more people, I'm like, oh, have you heard of Plexus? And they're like, oh yeah, my friend's sister does it, but what is it? I don't know about it. So I do think it's gaining speed and popularity. So just keep that in mind. If we don't share, they're going to hear it from somebody else. We all have, big goals and small goals. I shared with you guys, my first goal was to make $1,000 a month within my first year. And, that was a relatively small goal. It wasn't anything crazy, but now I've reassessed my goals because I've blown past that goal. So I think once you catch the vision of how this can impact your family and your life, it's really exciting. And, you kind of get the vision of how many people you can help. And that's a huge part of why we share, getting those text messages or those emails about just how someone's, went to the doctor and I was just hanging out with my mother-in-law the other day. She's been on Plexus from the beginning with me. And she said, Joran, I just got my blood work done and my blood sugars are way down. And my doctor said I'm doing awesome and to keep up what I'm doing. And I'm like, that's great. So, hearing things like that is just really rewarding and really exciting. We talk a lot about financial freedom. What that means is we don't have to stress over every penny spent. I know for me, it's, having my daughters in gymnastics and being able to, enjoy a meal out with my husband every now and then and not having to stress it or charge everything on a credit card. Our products, like I said, products in our comp plan change lives. We do have the best compensation plan out there. If you've researched other MLMs, other network marketing companies, you will see our compensation plan is amazing. I know a ton of people in this company who have made money from day one, and that's not always the case. In a lot of other companies, you have to spend a lot of money in order to make money. And in our company, you spend $35, and that gets you the ability to get a lot of return on your investment. Okay, let's move on because I don't want to take up too much time. But we really are sharing, not selling. Okay, so where do you start? This is always kind of like it's kind of overwhelming when you sign up. Like, how do I start doing this? Your success kit is awesome. That's the little box that comes in your welcome pack. So be sure to take a look at that. There's a CD in there with ideas. There's a little booklet that gives you scripts and all kinds of ways to reach out to people. Sharing your experience or your sponsor's experience. So for example, let's say, like, I actually have somebody who's signing up in the next day or two, and she's brand new. She's never even tried the products. But she's like, I'll share about your story because I trust you and I know what the products have done for you. So, that's really one way to do it if you don't have months of experience on the products. Some of you started out as very happy customers, so you do have that story. But a lot of times if you're just starting out, you don't yet. You want to be building relationships and building your network constantly. And for some of us, this is easier. And for some of us, this takes more work. I took one of those introvert extrovert tests, and it turns out I'm 100% extroverted. So for me, this is the part that I thrive on and I love, but that's not everybody's strength. And so I think, some of us have to be more intentional about constantly building relationships. And for as much as I love it, I have to be intentional about that too. So I'm always trying to meet new people, and I love that. Facebook, we do use Facebook. I use it. We all use it, and we try to post daily, if not more. You can post product info, highlighting a product. You can, post info about the business, the joining fee, being so low. Personal posts are really the best, and I think somebody else is going to cover posting tonight, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but I do think anytime that I've shared something from my heart or something personal, it just comes off a lot more genuine and a lot less salesy. Okay, lastly, make your list. This is called a Frank's list. I'm sure some of you by now have heard that acronym. It stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, kid connections, and service organizations. Is there an N in there? I think N is neighbors. I think neighbors. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of amazing when, sometimes people sit down and they say, I just don't really have a big network. I don't know. But when you sit down and you start making your list, you will find that you know a lot of people. So this list should always be growing. I have mine. I should have it here. It's piled in a pile of papers, but I'm always adding to it. So for example, my older daughter just started soccer. And so at soccer practice last night, I was intentional about meeting a few of the new moms, making sure I got their names so I could reconnect with them. And so now they can go on my friends list. And so eventually, if we become Facebook friends or we end up getting our girls together for a play date, whatever the case may be, I have already begun building that relationship so I can add them to my list and eventually reach out to them about Plexus. Okay, next screen, please. Okay, what is your why? So in this business, we talk a lot about our why. And the reason is that, if we lose sight of why we're doing this, it just becomes a job. And really, the whole purpose of doing this is to help others and to be consistent with our why. So I really encourage all of you, if you haven't yet, to just sit down and really think about, what is my why? What is the reason why I'm doing this? For me, the reason is I love being a stay-at-home mom. My girls are in school, but I have a little guy that's 2. And due to the fact that we live in Southern California and my husband is a teacher, I had to make extra income. There was no option. I would have been going back to work. So my why is because it helps me stay home with my baby, but it also is because I love helping people. And so like I mentioned earlier, just seeing people get healthier and the changes that, they've experienced, that's huge for me. So I think those things combined really make up my why. But I heard it said somewhere, and I think this is the best way to sort of summarize it, is you should have a why that makes you cry. So if it doesn't make you cry, revisit it. Think about what the really true meaning of your why is, and be proud of that and let that motivate you and drive you in this business. Okay, next slide. Okay, I think this is on to somebody else, right, Sarah? Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. I don't know who I'm introducing. Is it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jordan. You did really, really awesome tips. I think Sandra, is that right? Okay.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Sandra Ponce. I've been with Plexus for just over a year now. I joined in May of 2016. And I am now a senior Ruby ambassador. It's mind-blowing. I seriously remember telling my husband, sitting on the couch next to him, I said, wow, how am I going to get 3 people to do this with me? Like 3? That's a lot. Because I am the opposite of Joran, and I'm quite the introvert. I'm a little socially awkward and have some weird humor. So, I didn't know how that was going to happen, and it did. It happened, and I have a great team, the best team, seriously. So I joined because I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, and I also had severe postpartum after my son was born. I was on 3 different medications, and really just, to say struggling is like just so it was awful. It was like the worst experience of my life. And of course, that's terrible to think that your worst experience of your life is right after you have your first child. So I definitely wanted to get off some medication. But honestly, when Joran approached me about it, Joran is my upline, I wanted to join for weight loss. And I just thought I'd be on medication forever. So that's kind of how I started. She sent me some testimonies about gut health and how that relates to, depression and anxiety and all these other things. And I found success with the products, and I was able to come off medication. I have, ups and downs here and there, but wow, it has done so much for me physically, mentally. I lost 10 inches. So it was very easy for me to start sharing, because how could I not share? Like, you know, I mean, I'm a huge proponent of killing the stigma of mental illness, because it's ridiculous to me. And so a huge part of me wanted to just share as much as I could, so that maybe someone else struggling could, you know, reach out to me. So anyway, so some of the first post ideas are you and your pink drink. This was one of my very first posts. Jordan and I were out walking one day, and she's like, "Are you ready to post your first post?" And I'm like, "No, I was so nervous." I have to tell you, on a side note, this has totally helped me learn to not care so much about what other people think of me, and care more about the people that love me and support me, and people that need these products. So, I mean, it's been like such a great personal growth for me. And I'm sure all of you agree with that. So that was my first post, me and my pink drink. An example would be, "I'm loving my pink drink. I can't remember the last time I had enough energy to get through the day. Cheers to getting healthy from the inside out." I had a ton of interest on my first post. Like, "What are you doing? What is," you know, you'd be surprised how many people don't know about Plexus. Or you can post about starting something new. I'm so excited to start my journey to be a healthier me. I've been feeling run down, and I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Can't wait to see changes in my health and help others become the best versions of themselves. And then thank you to so-and-so for introducing me to Plexus. It really just shows your heart, you know, and it doesn't seem like you're trying to sell anything, and you're just sharing. So you can go to the next slide, Sarah. Some posting tips. I kind of learned the hard way a little bit, because, you know, life gets busy. I only have one child, and I'm able to stay home with him. So, but a lot of times I find myself having to really re-examine how I'm posting, and, you know, I don't want to come off salesy. I don't like salespeople. You know, when I'm in the mall and ladies coming after you with the perfume, I'm like, no. Anyway, I was that girl, by the way. I worked at Victoria's Secret anywho, it was awful. So personal, as personal as you can be. I know, you know, my husband can't swallow capsules or pills of any sort. I actually really got sick of it and made him take them, and then he threw up. So I stopped forcing him. So I mix his capsules into yogurt right along with my son when I give my son his probiotic. And he takes it that way every night. So that is one of my posts. Like, "I love you. Keep making dinner for me so I can keep mixing in your, you know, your supplements." And educational posting is great. I don't know how many times people will message me and say, like, "I didn't have any idea that had to do with that," or "Tell me more about this product because I suffer from this," and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Drinking water. Like, people are amazed that they should be drinking half their weight in ounces. I drink 0 ounces of water before Plexus. So another huge thing to keep in mind is compliance. You know, we work with this great company. This company has a lot of integrity, and we have to follow these compliance rules. We can't, you know, claim that Plexus can cure any type of disease. We can't claim those things. But there's other ways of saying things. You know, for example, when I was going through postpartum, a lot of the things that I would say were, you know, "I'm feeling a lot less worrisome lately. I'm sleeping better. I don't feel, my mood is better," or things like that, versus saying, you know, it cured me from, you know, A, B, and C. So that's a huge thing to look over. And then another really important thing that I noticed, why are you looking at me like that? Scott's giving me a dirty look. Oh, he's eating peanut butter. Okay, so when you get interest, you'll have people posting on your posts, and then you freak out kind of, right? You're like, "Now what do? I know nothing." And that was me. One of the best things is to give info off of Facebook. So what I do is I say, "Hey girl, I'll PM you." And then I go straight over to my messenger, and I personally message them and say, "Hey, I saw your comment. I'd love to share more with you." And then in the very beginning, when I was still learning, it was a little difficult because I knew zero. So what I would say was, you know, "Hey, Sarah, I'd love to add you to a chat with my upline. She's been doing it much longer than me. I want to make sure that you get, you know, the exact products that would work best for you. And I would literally put Joran, and so Joran is my upline, and then Sarah is my next upline. And so I'd put them on chats all the time. These girls were busy. Seriously, I would say every single day I talked to them or threw them on a chat. And I was like, hey, Joran, I have blah, blah, blah here. And I learned that way, because you're watching how they respond, what they say. And honestly, I never thought I would learn it, but Sarah kept telling me, Joran kept telling me, you'll just start learning it on your own after these three-way messages. So that was a great way. And third-party validation is awesome too, hearing from someone that maybe you don't have a really direct relationship with. And then a huge part of this business is follow-up. I cannot stress enough. I just had a girl I talked to for maybe 6 months. Actually, I didn't talk to her. She never responded to me. But I just kept following up with her because I saw some of the posts that she was posting about her health. And she messaged me back like just the other day and said, I had been meaning to get a hold of you. I'm like, really? I was about to give up, So follow-up is huge. They say it takes is it 5 to 12 contacts with that person for someone to decide to buy into it. And I needed some pushing, not exactly pushing. I just needed Joran to, I needed her to love me where I was at and explain to me more and give me more info. And then when I was ready, she was very patient with me. So I was definitely one of those follow-ups. If she had given up on me, I would have never found this. Okay, you can go to the next slide, Sarah. These are just some examples, some graphics on the left, and then some pictures of the pink drink, and then this picture at the top right, holding a bag of Slim, calling it balance. We just want to make sure we have a mix between really being personal and your graphics. You want to really, those personal posts are going to engage way more people. So I do have to tell you, I was so scared to share. You can go to the next one, Sarah. Sorry. I was so scared to share. And so last month, I am officially like $200 a month away from my monthly teaching salary. And I get to stay home with my son. I also get adult interaction. We have the best of both worlds. It's the coolest things. So one of the coolest perks is how we get paid, right? How to buy and how we get paid. So let's say someone's interested in wanting to purchase from you. They can purchase as a customer, and they can purchase retail or preferred. Retail is like a one-time deal. They purchase and then, they don't, that's it. And then they have to come back and they purchase again, when they were ready. And it's the most expensive. Preferred is awesome. It does set people up on an auto ship. And I know that scares people, but the coolest thing about our company is that you have access to your account. You can go on and literally cancel your auto ship. You can edit your auto ship. You can, put this in it, that in it. It's totally in your hands. And then also on top of that, we as ambassadors get bonuses when we sell things to customers as preferred. So that's always like my motivation. Sometimes I'll just say, hey, let's get you signed up as a preferred customer. I know I'm going to get like a $20 bonus. So I'm like, let's split the bonus. I'll throw in a special. I'll give you 10, I'll keep 10. So preferred customer is definitely the way to go when it comes to getting customers. But retail customers are great too. I have retail customers now, have always had retail customers too. So when to go to wholesale. So I would say 70% of my customers are wholesale customers. They join because they want the best prices. And I would say this is we really want to tell people about wholesale when we know that they're going to give the products the time that they need. They're going to spend the $34.95 to join. We really want them to know that they're not going to get that back. They still can get a 60-day money back guarantee, but they're really investing in themselves. So we want to make sure that they're going to give it the 60 to 90 days. And beyond that, I would also, talk about the business with them and see if that's an avenue that they would like to take. Definitely if they're looking for extra income, wholesale is the way to go for sure. Sarah, is that your Mac that says the battery is low? Okay, I'm just making sure because, okay, so I'll speed it up a little bit here. Comp plan is super awesome. Like I said, I have never ever heard of a company that like pays this way. I have so many people that ask me questions about like, wait, okay, so I don't have to spend or sell a certain amount of money in order to keep my account, or I don't have, I'm not obligated to have parties. I'm not, obligated to do this and this and this. And I'm like, no, there's no obligation whatsoever. It's really your own business, your own time. So we get paid in 11 different ways. We get paid from commissions. And so Sarah talked about PV earlier, your personal volume. So anywhere from 100 PV in your sales with your customers and also your purchases to $4.99, we get paid 15% commission. And then 500 and above PV, we get paid 25% commission. And then on top of that, in some companies, that's where they kind of stop. On top of that, we make weekly bonuses, and you make weekly bonuses by adding people to your team. They're called business building bonuses. These are paid out every single Friday. If someone decides to join wholesale and wholesale ambassador is the same thing. They go hand in hand. You make a business building bonus off their welcome pack. And then your team above you makes a portion of that too. So Jordan would make a portion of that, and then Sarah would make a portion of that. So you make weekly business building bonuses, BBBs. And then we also have rank up bonuses. So I just want Senior Ruby last month. And this month I'm going to make $750 for ranking up. So awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. And every, let's see, silver is $100 bonus. This month it's $150 in the first month and $50 if you can keep it. And then gold is doubled this month. It's 400, and then 100 the next month if you can keep it. So they're doubling ranks this month, which is really cool. And then senior gold is $350. I'm going to study these. And then Ruby is 500, and then Senior Ruby is 750. So super cool. And then once you hit the jewel status, you start getting into the bonus pool, right? Is that how you say it, Sarah? You get a totally different, much higher bonus pool. So, okay. And then another way we get paid is called Plexus points. These are, everybody on your team is worth a certain amount of points. So all of my level 1 through 3s. So my cousin is on my team, Christine, she's on the call. My cousin is my level 1. Every month she's worth 5 points to me as long as she orders, and she does religiously, and she sells lots too. She's worth 5 points to me. Depending on where the Plexus pay points are at the end of the month, that's how much you're going to get paid for each point that you have. I know this sounds overwhelming. If anybody gave me this much information on my first training, I'd be like, okay. But you totally learn as you go. So Christine would be worth 5 points to me at the end of the month. Say the points were worth, $3. She's worth $15 to me that month. So super cool. And then you can imagine as you add people to your team, you multiply that by your pay points. So last month I ended at 794 points. So multiply that by however much the points are worth that month. I think they were worth $3 this month. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so we're around $3. So yeah, do that math on the calculator, and then add in all the other things. I'm looking at my paycheck this month, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this for real? It is. Okay, and then we also, I know you thought I was done. I'm not. We also get paid for preferred bonuses. So anybody that buys products as a preferred customer, you make a bonus on that. So let's say they buy triplex from you, you make a $20 bonus. So a lot of times I'll run a special and I'll say, $10 off as long as you have this much PV, because as a preferred customer, because I know I'm going to be getting a bonus, and some can come out of my pocket and I can write that off too. So preferred bonuses are awesome. And then you also, not only that, you get the $20 every single time, every month they buy the triplex. And at Emerald status, you get a Lexus and you get to go to Hawaii. And we also get paid retail overrides. So Christine is my level 1. I actually make 5% of her commissions, anything over 100 PV. So, I mean, they just add up and add up and add up. So you can go to the next slide, Sarah. I think that's it for me. So without further ado, should I introduce Christine?
Jamie.
Jamie. Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I've been with Plexus for about 6 months. I actually started in January, but in January, I had just had a baby. I had a baby end of October. In January when I started, I was not willing to share at all. I just wanted to take the products and be left alone. But I followed with all the group pages. And then in February, Sandra and Amanda texted me and asked me if I would order $15 more or whatever it was so that I would commission qualify. And those words commission qualify really got me because then I needed the extra money. And so commission qualify was like, wow, I can qualify to get commission. So then from there, I kind of got excited about it. And then the next week I went to Amanda's house and I actually met Sarah and Amber and got super excited about the business and started sharing that day. And my business has grown, and it's, I'm not a superstar by any means, but I love it. And it's really fun for me. So my first goal was to go silver. And so that took me about a month. I think I went silver in April. So it took me a month. So to go silver, you have to have 3 active ambassadors. So active means they have to either purchase their welcome packet that would make them active for you that month, or have 100 PV. So I think in March, I signed up to my mom and a girl I worked with. And then the following month, I got another friend to join me. And so she purchased her welcome packet, and the other 2 had to be commission qualified, have that 100 PV to get me to go silver. And then with that, automatically you get a $100 bonus. So it's $100 in your pocket. So really going silver, 175 is the lowest amount you're going to make that month. So it was instant money in my pocket. And then that kind of just made me more excited to push along. So with every ambassador you sign, when they purchase a welcome packet, you are going to get a bonus of $25 or $50 if they purchase a double welcome pack. So those 3 ambassadors, you're going to get a $75 bonus, or $75, and then your $100 bonus. So August. In August, they have extended that double bonus, you guys. If you go silver this month, you still get that $200 bonus. You'll get $150 this month, and then $50 more when those 3 people are still active in September. So awesome opportunity. Don't miss that. Okay, so who can you ask to join you guys? It doesn't have to be a big deal. This doesn't have to be people that you think are going to be rock stars at the business. I mean, yeah, do that if you can. That's awesome. But the first person I asked was my mom. I asked her, Mom, will you do this with me? Will you try these products with me? And, she's my mom. So at first she, just did it because she wanted to help me out. And of course now she loves the products too. But that's all she has to do. She just has to order her products and make it equal at least 100 PV every month and go from there. So it doesn't have to be someone that wants to work the business. I didn't. I mean, when I signed up under Amanda, I did not want to work the business. And then, I fell in love with it and I did. So you never know what someone's going to do, but all you can do is ask and see what they want to do from there. But get those 3 people, get them this month so you can get that extra bonus. It's pretty awesome. And Sarah, you want to go to the next slide? There we go. So this is the money. The money talked to me at first. That's what I needed. I needed the extra cash. We're trying to buy a bigger house. I have 6 kids, and we had a 1,200 square foot house, and it's tight. So I needed that extra money so that I could buy a bigger house, and we're in the process of it now, and it's kind of a nightmare. But with that extra money, I mean, silver, $422 on average, and I'm approaching gold, and it really is that, you guys. So I teach right now, and I'm looking at that ruby thinking that I might be able to stay home with my baby soon. So it's pretty awesome to think about the opportunities that we have here. I can't wait. So look at that diamond. That's pretty awesome. And I think this goes to Christine.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, you would think it'd be really easy to just click advance a slide. Not here, it's kind of a pain. But oh my gosh, I love what you said about just having that ruby in your sights and being able to stay home with your sweet baby. I love that. That's awesome. And super exciting, Amber, our upline, just went diamond last month. So like, those are real people that we actually know. It's not just some faces on some screens somewhere, not just people who are talking on stage at convention every year. Like, that's my sister-in-law. So I just love that this business is so doable and anybody can do it. So anyway, thank you, Jamie. You're awesome. And now Christine, this is really cool. Don't get lost in the numbers here, but this is super powerful. So I wanted to make sure you guys understood this. So.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christine. I'm Sandra's cousin, and I started Plexus about a year ago, and I just went gold on my 1-year Plexus anniversary, so that was exciting. I started Plexus through my cousin just because I needed to lose some weight after my 3rd baby, and she told me about Plexus, and I had already been working out every day and trying to go on these crazy diets, and it just wasn't coming off. So I was pretty hooked right away when I could be more relaxed with my diet and was still losing weight in inches. And then the more I learned about gut health and all the other things that it could help with, I was really intrigued. So I guess I didn't really think about the business side of it. I definitely wanted to get my products paid for, otherwise I wouldn't be able to continue to take it. But I never really thought ahead. But thanks to my cousin, she always kind of pushes me, and she's my little cheerleader. So, so what I wanted to talk about tonight is building your team using the power of 3. And looking at this graphic, it's a super easy, I like to call it like a game plan for you to build your team. And like Jamie talked about, you want to start by becoming silver, and you do that with 3 people. And what I'm going to talk about is when you have those 3 people, you want to train them and have them duplicate what you've been doing. So when you have those 3 people, they're going to get 3 people, and then their 3 people are going to get 3 people. So when I started out, I, had kind of dabbled into a MLM before, and I was like, I know how this works. You have to get, 100 people before you actually make money. And with Plexus, that's not true. You can simply make money by 1 customer or going silver with 3 people. So you just need to know 3 people, and then those 3 people need to know 3 people, and then you duplicate. So this is the easy graphic to follow. And so I will go over some math. So we get paid 11 different ways, and this is one major way we get paid, by building our team. And we get paid with Plexus points, and the average amount is $3 a point. So with our level 1, we get 5 points. So if you just look at the green, with those 3 people that you would add, that would equal to 15 points, and then times 3 would be $45. If those 3 people that you added got 3 people, so if you look at the orange, that would be 9 more people, and 45 points. 45 times $3 is 135. If you go to the next level, level 3 in the yellow, that's 27 people. And these are people that you don't even know. And that's just simply by duplicating. So 27 times 5 points, 135 points times $3 is $405. Now we get paid, if you look a little bit further, we get paid down 7 levels, and there's different points per ambassador. So what's really neat is the first 3 levels, those ambassadors are worth 5 points to us, and then it goes down to 4, 3, and 2, and then I believe 1. Can't really see, but so say if you just did what's on the graphic, what's on the screen right now, you would have a total of 195 points, and times $3 would be 585 points. So when you think I can only go silver with those 3 people that you started out with, you could potentially have $585. And it's really exciting. I've spent nights where I've kind of drawn out my own little bubbles and figured the possibilities of what this could end up being. And you can't really see it on here, but if you go all the way down, you could end up 7 levels down, you could end up with 4,893 points. And if you times that by 3, that's $14,679, and that's in a month. So it's really neat to see the possibility of how we get paid with just using the simple technique of duplicating and the power of 3. And what's really great about Plexus is that it's very much a team effort. So you added these 3 people, but you're training the people below you to do what you did. And so it's just great.
Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, Christine. Yeah, I think the power of 3 is just, it's just kind of insane to me. The power behind the power of 3 is just crazy because, you think about going silver, and that is just so doable for all of us to go silver. For everybody who joins your team, it's so doable, and they don't even have to share on Facebook. Everybody has 3 people that are, close to them who would jump on board and join them in this business. And so, when you break it down, it's just, and that's what I love about, or one of the things that I really love about Plexus is that they have just made this simple. So when our president and CEO were just forming this, brand new company, and they had this vision, their motto was network marketing the way it should be done, but rarely ever is. And like Christine mentioned, she sort of, dabbled in an MLM, is what she said. And she pretty quickly got discouraged because it just wasn't doable and it wasn't attainable. And Plexus it's right out the gate. As soon as you pay that $34.95, it's attainable. It's all there in front of you. So I do just want to encourage you guys to dream big. And I know it's hard and it's scary. It's scary to dream big. I know when I first started out, my goal was similar to Jorn's. I thought, well, my ultimate goal actually was to make $1,000. And I just thought, like, if I could make $1,000 a month, my mind would be blown. It would just be like the most amazing thing ever. And I had a hard time believing that I was, that I could get there and that I was going to get there. But, I did. And like Jordan was saying, my paycheck just kept growing and growing and growing. And every month it gets bigger. And this month I had the biggest paycheck I've ever had in 3 years. And You know, I made more than my husband this month, and he's not here, but he would be fine if I told you that. He wouldn't be mad at me. But I just think if you can, you know, hopefully we have helped you catch the vision a little bit of this company and how we are different. You know, we have products that everybody needs. Everybody needs what we have to offer. So many people need a little bit of extra money. Some people need a lot of extra money in their pocket, you know, each month. And what an incredible difference would, you know, $500 a month make for you in your life? You know, what kind of pressure would that take off of you, or maybe your husband, or whether you are a single mom, or whether you are married, or whether, you know, maybe you don't even have kids? And like, what would that look like for your life, just to be able to take some of that financial burden off? And so I wish I had dreamt bigger sooner, because I do think that definitely held me back. My, you know, lack of belief in myself. I always knew that the products were amazing and that the company was incredible, but I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't believe that, you know, I was capable of, you know, accomplishing these big, huge dreams and big, huge goals. And so, you know, if you haven't already, I definitely would encourage you to take some time to write down your why. Because you're going to need to go back to that. There's going to be times when you're going to need to be reminded. This is definitely, you know, it can be a roller coaster. There's months where, you know, you have just a ton of momentum, a ton of interest. And then there's months where, you know, people are going to quit, and, you know, it's discouraging. And so, but if you can go back to that why, and if you can go back to that dream, I know some people make like dream boards and vision boards, and they'll cut out pictures and stuff like that of, you know, what they hope to accomplish with this business. I just think that that's just going to be so key for you guys in your journey, you know, as you go forward. So anyway, thank you guys all so much. I loved doing this with all these girls. They all did such a good job. And it's, I think, you know, my why has definitely evolved, and my why now is just, you know, training my team and helping my team to be successful. That really is what keeps me going, and that is absolutely my passion now. So I love being able to share that with you guys, and I'm just so excited that you all are here, and I'm so excited to see where this is going to take you. I am going to, if I can figure this out, I'm just going to scroll through the chat. I'm pretty sure you guys, I'm sure that everybody got everything covered. But if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in there. But know that, you know, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you guys. So feel free to reach out to me whenever. If we're not already friends on Facebook, please send me a friend request, because, you know, I love getting to know all of you guys and want to support you in your business. So thank you guys so much. Alyssa, when will the next Zoom meeting be? Let me look at my calendar. I actually am thinking, I know we'll have another one this month. We may have a, like an opportunity meeting, which is something that you would invite potentials to. I need to still pin down a date on that. But that's basically like an online sip and see, kind of, if any of you guys have been to that. So I don't know if Amber will be doing one at the end of her 7-day challenge or not, but that's what we're hoping to kind of line up with the end of the 7-day challenge, which starts on the 14th. So that's in the works. Hopefully we'll get that on the calendar. And then I may have something else up my sleeve. Oh, Danielle, I was going to surprise them, but no, it's okay. Totally fine. I just didn't want to put you on the spot, Danielle. So Danielle Burt is a chemistry teacher, and she's brilliant, and she knows a ton about the science behind our products. And so I asked her if she would do like a product training for us. You know, I think even if you're not like a we call them greens, you know, like we have different color personalities. Even if you're not into the science and not into like all of the nitty gritty details, I think it's so awesome to know what is behind our products and like what makes them work and why they're so amazing. So I think we are going to plan that. We're talking about the 31st. So at the very end of this month. So Danielle just knows a ton. Somebody asked something on Celeste Gwen, who's like the top of the company. She's like top earner in our company. Somebody asked something on her page about BioCleanse, and Danielle answered it with a really great, like thorough, detailed answer. And people totally geeked out on it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're awesome!" Like, and she got all these friend requests because she just answered this really simple question. So all that to say, she knows a ton, and I'm excited that she's going to get to share that with all of us. So she's an awesome asset to our team. So I'm just going to scroll back through. If you guys need to hop off, that's okay. But I'm sure everything's taken care of in the chat. But when I close this window out, it goes away. And so I just wanted to see where all of you guys were from. And so anyway, thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a good weekend. And hopefully I'll see you all soon.